At 1 p.m. HST, I know where I will be. Ukulele Underground Podcast for you and me. Aldrine and Aaron and Kahai. And maybe Magic Mike or a guest on the fly. Ukulele Underground Podcast. Now here's the guys.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Ukulele Underground Podcast. My name is Aldrine, joined by Mr. Aaron the Voice Nakamura. Say what's up, Aaron.
What's up?
And Mr. Kahai, the legend, Fergan. Say what's up, Kahai.
What's up?
All right, guys, special day today. Because look, we have had Magic Mike on this show.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna list down this show's accolades so far, and it just keeps getting better. Then we've had Jake Shimabukuro. No, we had Andrew Molina.
Yeah.
And, Then
it's like we got to do a drink.
And then Jake Shimabukuro that has been here. And now we have Craig and then we had a guest before that, after that, right?
Yeah.
Who was our recent guest? Daniel and Mark. It's like Daniel and Mark. And now we have Craig and Sarah. Welcome to the show, Craig and Sarah. I thought I buried the lead there for a second, but we announced him like 3 weeks ago, so it's not a surprise or anything. Craig and Sarah, how are you, my good friends? How are you?
Oh man, they had a whirlwind weekend.
Let's just go right into it. You know what I mean? Like I think these two need no introduction, but we'll give a short introduction. These are the legendary, the enigmas of ukulele. These two are the driving force behind ukulele education today. Seriously, these two, known all over the world, have set foot in every single continent, I hope.
Yeah.
and like Johnny Appleseed has planted the seeds of ukulele everywhere. So give it up, Craig and Sarah. We'll talk more about you guys, what you guys are up to like during the show and stuff. But first off, just right off the bat, you guys are now in charge of the Ukulele Festival of Hawaii, and that just happened this past weekend. Tell us all about it.
Online presence. Wait.
Yeah.
1 second. Sorry guys, you're muted, so you should be better now.
Yeah.
Okay,
let's start over.
That was the best part of this whole thing right there. That was it. That was
he just revealed something, that he's never revealed anywhere else. What happened?
And he's never gonna reveal it again.
That's never gonna happen again. That's like it was a Freudian slip that just happened, and then
so
now
thanks for having us. That's all that we could say about that. That really was.
Oh wait, so does Aldrine have to do the intros again?
We could start all over.
Oh my god!
And then
it's fine because we're like 2 minutes into it, so we'll be okay, all right?
Okay, so sorry to the
audience, to the live audience. This is a great show so far. No, I think we should just keep running. I think we should just keep running. That's how things are. We're live, baby. It's fine.
Yeah, I think we just missed just the start of them talking. So it's
okay. All right. So Craig and Sarah are here. Very, very, very nice to have you. Hey, yes, Craig and Sarah are here.
Yay.
So, did you get my awesome intro, Kahai, in there?
Yeah.
That's good. That's all. Anyway, so Craig and Sarah, let's get right into it. This past weekend was the Ukulele Festival of Hawaii, and you guys are the new, leaders. What is your official title? See, we've been deliberating like what
of the universe.
What is your official title over at Ukulele Festival of Hawaii now?
Honestly, I don't think we even know what our official title is because we've been called a variety of different things. That's why. So initially it's been organizer, then we've also been called producers, and we actually are doing both of those things, or did both of those things just now. As Craig was saying, we starting January. We started planning and prepping because we had to start from scratch as far as building an online presence, because we knew right away it was all going to be virtual. just because you just didn't want a chance having something at the park. So we had 3 mini events that led up to the big day, once a month since, what was it, April, Craig?
So it was planning 4 different events in the time of 7 months.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! But I mean, it really, like, everything that was shown was I either had to record and edit, or I had to go through historical footage and like dial in and edit and cut out all the crazy audio issues, work on the transitions. For the live streams, it was just Sarah and I. That was the main crew that were handling, emceeing and camera work and switching and oh my gosh. For the main festival, at least we had a sound engineer that was amazing.
And Jackson was awesome.
Andrew Katalkis was on a separate camera as well, so we worked hand in hand on that. But
great.
Not only did we have to do that in that 7-month period, but this is also in the middle of a pandemic. So like it was so much trickier than, nothing, hopefully no one has to go through that again, I mean, it's just, but it was intense. It was so over the top ridiculous once we kind of laid everything out. It was, for us, it was about saving the festival in the sense to make sure it survived and stayed relevant, and we created so many different new ways of fundraising to help, and we were trying to balance that and balance our students with artist works, that kind of thing too. I mean, it was just really, honestly, yesterday was probably the first good night of sleep we've had in since February.
Yeah, it's been intense. Like, it's been fun, and then Craig and I do enjoy problem solving, and there have been all kinds of fun problems to solve with each
air quotes fun
quotes. With each event, right? But because at first, when we first started, we were told you can only have 5 people in a room. So that's why the very first one, the local spotlight, like, it really was just Craig and I running everything, plus having, I think we had 2 volunteers and then the artist, and then that was it. Then we had to have people like leave the room and stuff in order to be able to have, and then I think the next time we could have 10 people in the room. Ooh. So that was the workshop day, the workshop one that was in May. And then the June one was the International Spotlight. That one actually, I think, was one of my, like, out of the 3 mini events, that one was just really special, getting to see all of the different countries people like come out and support. And I loved seeing just like the chat fill up with like Canadian flags when like their artists were on, or the Brazil flags when like their artists were on screen, or the clubs. And it was so cool seeing that, that pride and the ukulele linking everyone together, and that music speaks in every language. And to me, the international event was so special. And the keikis from all over the world and the ukulele clubs from all over the world. That was so cool. And all of it culminated to what we had on Sunday, which was just, it was really magical on Sunday. And being able to have a larger crew was nice. It still was small. It was still only, I think we had 6 volunteers total. And then Craig and I, and Jake and Herb were MCs, and then Roy came at midday and started MCing. And it, we had a very kind of strict rules as far as like who could be in the room, and the way that we were moving people in and out, trying to be as safe as possible. And so there were a lot of challenges, but it was an incredibly beautiful and magical day. Even though we couldn't be at the park, I felt like we actually brought you a little bit of that feeling that you would have had at the park, as far as just like that love and this, that aloha spirit. It was very present, and it was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, so you, Craig, you said that you looked through all the historical footage and stuff and putting that all in there. It's like a 5-hour show, 6-hour show, like the Ukulele Festival?
Well, and it's not just this though. Like there was also historical footage in the workshop day and in the international one, right, Craig? Yeah. He did a lot.
Yeah, and I mean it's like the 51st annual, so that's like 50 years of footage that you had to sift through.
Well, they had a lot of things that were curated, which was nice, and so I put things together from there to kind of create at least a program in that sense.
Yeah.
What was the oldest footage that you put up there?
Oh man.
The 80s?
No, there's stuff in the 70s. Yeah.
Oh,
remember?
right. There was.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, to me, it made it more special as well, looking back and like seeing how this incredible legacy has inspired so many people. That's why even more so we were like, okay, yeah, we're not going to sleep this week, but at least we can keep pushing forward with this, because we see the importance of it. And they already had to cancel last year, so they're saying that if they couldn't figure something out this year, that might have been it. So we're just glad we could at least for this year, at least, you know, really keep the momentum going. And I think we did a great job of showcasing to a lot of people for the first time what that ukulele festival is all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for so long it's been kind of like a destination, you know, kind of thing for people to go to Hawaii and experience that. So it was really special for everyone to to be able to experience that online. So like, I guess when one door closes, another door opens, and this is just like a window to like what the Ukulele Festival is all about, what the feeling is, like you said, the aloha, the spirit, the the vibe that that you get from attending the Ukulele Festival. It was very much alive, like even though it was just like a live stream online, but just feeling the presence. And like I was on the chat on YouTube and just like just talking with all the people that were watching along. It was really cool. It was kind of like, you know, going to the festival and hanging out with my friends and like, oh man, Cynthia's next or whatever. Oh look, Ava's singing, you know, like it was really cool because I had the chat going on and I had like 3 different like message group texts that was happening at the same time. It was really fun. It was kind of like hanging out with my friends at the festival. So thank you for not just, you know, creating that, you know, that atmosphere online, but saving and preserving and continuing the legacy of Ukulele Festival of Hawaii. You know, thank you guys so much, because it really means a lot to ukulele players around the world, especially ukulele players that have watched the thing for generations. Like I've, you know, like I said in the promo, like it was actually a dream of mine to be on there. I've watched that thing since I was little, and you know, and always wanted to go. I've Ukulele Underground started at the Ukulele Festival of Hawaii. Like me and Aaron went around with like our with our camera and was just like interviewing people like for a little website and stuff. Like that's how
it was before Ukulele Underground, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was for IamHawaii.com. So it even predates Ukulele Underground. Like, so some of that footage was like from that. I met Joe Souza, you know, at the Ukulele Festival, and now, you know, we work closely together for for ukuleles and just everything in general. It's been. It really is a magical place, and thank you so much for keeping it going. That means a lot to ukulele players.
Thank you guys for being a part of it this year too. Yes. That was really fun.
It was awesome.
Killed it.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
And
it was fun.
I do want to share though that like when the festival was first passed to us, you were the first phone call we made, actually.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, it was like a couple days later. It was like we asked for like, can we start booking already? And they went, oh, yeah, go ahead. And just like our first call.
Thank you.
So thank you for joining us.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks. Seriously, it means a lot to me. Like you know, it's one of those things that like I wanted to represent not just like Hawaii, but Kauai, like my home and stuff. And I've always wanted to see somebody from Kauai like just go up there and represent like ukulele wise and stuff. So it was, I know I'm probably wasn't the first one to do it, but I haven't seen one in a while. So it's been nice to kind of represent, you know, from this place. And I've Roy has done ukulele festivals in the other islands as well, and I've represented for that, but never at the Kapiolani Park. That's like the Super Bowl, man. I just played the Super Bowl, thanks to you guys. So thank you. You guys are now in charge of the ukulele Super Bowl.
No pressure.
Yeah. So we're gonna Tarantino this, okay? So we showed what just happened this past weekend, and then we're gonna go back and see where it all started. Okay, so we're gonna start with Craig, because we met Craig. Yeah, we met Craig first. Actually, we met Sarah first, but we'll get to that. We'll talk about that later. Yeah,
time ago.
We'll talk about that later. So
even Craig didn't know.
Yeah, Craig didn't know that. We met Sarah first. Oh, let's talk about that.
Okay.
So
all the way back.
So we're going back even further. I guess this was 2007.
Oh, 7.
Yeah, 2007 was it?
8. I think 8 was
8. Okay, 2008. we were in San Diego and we played at what was that place called? Like it was like
a coffee
like
shop.
A restaurant. Yeah, it was some kind of restaurant.
Coffee shop restaurant in Mira Mesa.
Yeah, I mean Mira Mesa, and like there's a bunch of people that came out and we were jamming and stuff, and then we took this one huge group picture with everyone, and Miss Sarah myself was actually one of the people in that group photo. And I don't do you?
I don't actually know the backstory.
I might have it. I might have that. But she was like she came down to an Ukulele on the Ground meetup to it was.
That was the first tour that we ever did.
Yeah, it's the first tour we ever did.
Yeah.
So we didn't even know if people were gonna show up. I guess we could do like a coffee shop or something. You know, maybe like 5 people. All 5 of them will be entertained and stuff.
There were a lot of people. Because I remember you
cool.
played Breezin' too, and I hadn't ever heard anybody do that on ukulele, and I was just like, oh my god.
Oh, right on.
Oh my god, yeah.
Wait, so Sarah, how did you even find out about this thing?
About Ukulele on the Ground. We weren't like how we are now.
How were you at that event?
Yeah.
So the ukulele club that I was a part of in Encinitas, like I guess there were several people who were members of Ukulele Underground super early on, and it was actually my teacher was like, oh, you've got to go. Aldrine's amazing. Come with me. And he's the one that brought me. Frank Leong brought me to go see you guys.
Oh, Frank. Yeah. Awesome.
Yep. So that's how I ended up there.
That's new details of this. We need to add this to the lore is what we need to do. That's why, So that was awesome. That's awesome. And it was... I think you were the one who told me that. You're like, I was there at the thing, and I'm like, really? So I took a look at all the pictures and stuff. So maybe I'll check it out. I have that group picture.
We have to add it to like the picture of Craig that we have back there.
We have tons of pictures of Craig back here.
Yes.
Right back there.
So we gotta go back even further because Ryan
let's go.
Craig.
Let's go. Let's take another time machine. Let's go all the way back because Craig. So the 3 founding fathers of Ukulele Underground is myself, Aaron Nakamura, and Ryan Isaki. Ryan Isaki went to Pacific University in Oregon.
Yeah.
And Craig, where did you go?
Ducks, University
of Oregon. Okay, so you were partying it up with Ryan Isaki over in Oregon, and we have a picture there.
I think Ryan's cousin may have gone there, right? Or something like that. And
yeah.
so for some reason, Ryan went there to hang out with his cousin. And so we have a pure. Randomly, Ryan still had this picture, and Craig is in it. So we gotta
our roots run deep, man.
Yeah.
This friendship has been going on for a long time. So awesome. So fast forward a little bit. We go to the Eugene Ukulele Festival, which is like Craig Chee's stomping grounds. That's like, it's Chee Town, really. It's what it is. Because we came in and I think the first thing that we went to was it was this brewery and Craig was playing with his band and he was playing all these Kyle Creator Boys songs. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get a drink and I'm gonna sit down. this guy is singing some tunes, man. And it was cool. And after that, Craig introduced himself and we're hanging out and next thing you know, we're just we're good friends.
Yeah.
Really, that's how it started. Insta friends. You play uke, I play uke. You like Kyle Creator Boys? I love Kyle Creator Boys. Do you know Jake too? Oh, I love Jake. It was that. And ever since then.
Let's hear Craig's side of the story.
Yeah, so what's your side of the story, Craig?
So my side of the story was, for me at that point, I was already kind of doing a lot of the Pacific Northwest ukulele festivals and events, right? And I was so excited to hear that another person from Hawaii was actually going to come up because, as you know, there's not actually many people from Hawaii on that circuit. You know what I mean? And a lot of it has to do with the cost of flying people up and all that kind of stuff. But so to me, that already I was like, oh, that's super exciting. And then hearing you play was super. It was super comfortable, but at the same time, something new. You know what I mean? You were pushing the boundaries of what was out there at the time, but at the same time, kind of honing a lot of your influences in that sense, right? And it was just fantastic. And I remember the day after, I took you guys to a barcade, I think.
Yeah. Yes. Let's talk more about this bar cake.
That was so much fun. But,
you brought this up.
and I remember, and I was so, because at the time too, like I was starting to get into more photography and video work, and I didn't, again, I didn't know what UU was at the time, right? Because I was just so focused on what I was doing there, and YouTube and stuff wasn't like the big thing it was like it is today, right? And watching, and you guys invited me out to do, I think, one of your Uke Minutes thing, and
the golpe.
Watching, that's right.
Yeah,
and I was watching you guys work. I'm like, that is awesome. That's like stuff I want to do. I want to be able to combine like my media side with the ukulele side, and to me that was like a super pivotal moment in my career. Because yes, I did some fun like random music video stuff with my band and everything, but seeing you guys utilize it for the teaching side especially, that was something that I've always kind of thought about but haven't really put a lot of investment into it. And so watching you guys work on and off stage was incredible, and that definitely has inspired, not only myself but so many people to kind of push out in that direction. You guys really did pave the way for so many people. I mean, people don't realize how far back you guys have been doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's it was really lucky for us to kind of run into Craig at the Eugene Fest, because the following year, like, we were staying at your place like the following year, and I think the following year, or was it the first year that we went when we asked him to do the boot camp? So did you do the boot camp year 1 or year 2?
I feel like year 2, huh?
Okay, yeah. So by year 2, we had asked Craig to be part of UU Plus. So UU Plus, we were doing the series with Craig, where like either it wasn't Bridging the Gap. I think it was boot camp. It was and I was like, man, this guy's awesome. Not only can he like jam songs and sing and stuff, he's also a great teacher. So I think a little after year 2, that's when we did we were planning, let's go on a tour. Let's like, the world needs to hear about Craig Chee. This is like some well-kept secret that Eugene was hogging, like all for themselves. And I was like, let's bring him out. So we're like, hey, Craig, we'd love for you to tour with us, but you got to prove yourself. You got to prove yourself. You got to prove yourself worthy of touring with the Ukulele on the Ground crew. And through some rigorous, like, Street Fighter tests, we did a head-to-head Street Fighter 2 games battle.
Wow.
And Craig came out 11-9 out of 20 games. 10 games in 10 matches on one game and 10 matches in the other game.
I just
it was
that
11-9.
I needed that one.
And you got it. We're like, okay, I'm a man of my word. I concede. Let's go. Let's plan out this tour. And it was fun. Did you? Where did you join us on that tour? Because it was just West Coast.
We went all the way up. At the Watkins.
Oh,
okay.
Shop.
The Strum Shop. And then
Roseville.
We went to Roseville.
That was,
and then we drove back up to Oregon after that, right? But it was pretty cool because after after Roseville, when we went to play at the Silvas the next night or the night after, that's when we ran into to Ricky and the guy from Pixar, and we went to Pixar together. Oh man, that was I was like, Craig, you get to go to Pixar with us. Like, that's pretty awesome.
The whole time I'm just like silent. I'm just like, don't say anything. Just follow along. This is amazing and incredible. Oh my gosh, that was awesome.
Well, like just touring with us for the first time and kind of like, seeing, like you said, seeing how we work on and off stage and how we did like, like the seminars and stuff, because you had your own style and you had kind of your own ways of performing and teaching and whatnot. Tell us about your time when you first toured with us, and how was that? Like, how was being on stage and teaching in front of like different people now?
What I appreciate about that tour was how much of the back end work still needed to happen. Like it's not, a lot of people when they see oh, you're making a living playing ukulele? That's so easy. That's so fun. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's just like
There's a lot more work that goes into it.
Yeah, and you know, Sarah and I always talk about how like playing the actual instrument and performing is a very tiny part of the business in that sense. And
it's like 10%.
and unfortunately, and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
pretty much.
Yes, I mean that's the sad thing about like you have these some of the best musicians in the world that don't get any kind of chance to push out further just because there's no business sense or there's no opportunities for them to have that part down. So having that balance and find, you know, that trip especially really showcased to me like I got to work harder and don't take things for granted. And yes, it can still be fun, but that's if you can put in the work and get to that point. So that was huge in that sense.
Like, what are some of the things that you know that you kind of adapted from that tour that you know that you didn't do then that you started doing? Like,
I think I realized.
Because I mean, you sold CDs and merch and stuff, but like, what would you do that was different?
The things that I picked up from watching you work too was that you didn't have to don't try to teach too much in the sense of you could do a couple things really, really well and have the best time, and that would stick with people more than trying to do 30 million things. And I think at the time I was always trying to do too much. Like I was always scared that I wasn't providing enough content for workshops and stuff, so I would try to give them everything. But that I think that you did your core thing so well. It didn't have to be a million of those, you know, and then that was, you know, and again, you don't know until you know, and looking at how everyone teaches differently, how everyone learns differently. But that to me was always something I enjoyed was being versatile enough to kind of change things up depending on who's in the audience and whatnot. But no, I think I think too, with Aaron always there and starting to, I don't think he was doing a ton of recording for the workshops yet, but I think over time, like that also ignited the spark of like me doing follow-up material videos for workshops and things like that, because then people could just be relaxed in the workshop itself and not try to memorize and master everything that you know they're doing. And I think a lot of the pacing, I learned a lot from you guys in that sense, and just watching the difference in that.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I've noticed. I mean, we've all been to like a bunch of different festivals all around the world and stuff. Some of them are 2 days, 3 days, you know, multiple days festival, and they pack like every hour of the day with like here's learn this, learn that, learn this. And the thing is, as an ukulele fan, like you don't want to not go because it's like, okay, well Lenny's teaching here, or James Hill is teaching there, or whatever's teaching this. So I can't breathe. I can't take a break. But my mind can only take so much beatings in a day, you know? Like but so that's kind of how I approached it. I'm just like, well, just like I think it was Fred Fred Bowie that told me, because his dad used to do I think he was like a conga player, and he used to do some seminars back in the day. But he said that like if they go home with like one thing, then you've done your job. And I'm just like, okay, well I'll just teach him one thing. Then I'll just do that. I'll just teach him one thing. No, but it all kind of stemmed from that. So Fred actually gave me some great advice in the beginning because it's from his dad, and I was like, I don't know how to do this. Like I was there in 2008. Thank Christ that Sarah only went to the performance and not the workshop that I was putting on, because I didn't know what the heck I was doing in 2008 because we were still all trying to figure it out. So it was cool to have Craig. That's the first time I think one of the only times we really toured with anybody, like, because usually we just kind of meet people along the way and stuff, but never like was in a car with people. And
Craig was our driver.
Yeah, he was a driver.
He paid his dues.
Yeah, he paid his dues, man. He trekked through snow, and it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun. The best burritos by your house. It was great. Yeah. Let's just leave it at that, man. Those burritos were too good. Let's just say it's too good. So let's. So Craig starts to kind of work with us and stuff, and you came down to Kauai. I think we filmed some stuff like you're on Kauai as well. So we've been friends for a while, and then like I think we did NAM like together. Like we also got. Did we get you into NAM, or did you get into NAM from someone else? And the first year that you were there.
I think I went with Mike.
Oh, the
Silva.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's like it wasn't De Silva. It was.
Takumi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And I bring that up because that's like where you met Sarah. So now Sarah comes in the picture. That's where you met Sarah. So how'd you guys meet? I'm sure you guys have told this before, but not our audience.
No, so pretty much it was like she just wouldn't leave me alone. I kept like seeing her at festivals and she just kept following me and I'm like
I said the same thing about Aaron. I'm like, why is this guy following me with a camera?
I had no idea that we had business together.
But yes, you guys met at NAM.
Yeah, so like long story short, we met through Mike De Silva actually. So because he was making us both instruments at the time, I was looking this part is true. I was looking for a G string that was unwound. and Craig actually had one, a low G that he actually sent me a set of strings. I think he was actually here in Hawaii visiting family, and he sent me a set of strings. It was really nice of him, and then we met up at NAMM. And it's funny, we both. Like it wasn't like love at first sight at all. Like it was just like, oh hi, nice to meet you, great, okay, sweet, you're a nice person, great, whatever. And we hung out and it was fun. But then we kept getting hired at all of these same festivals together. And Craig, of course, being the guy that he is, like to collaborate with like all the people. So he says, oh, I see that we're going to be at these 3 festivals. Why don't we, do a couple songs together? So we kind of plan that out so that at those events we play together. And it was really fun working together. And I think we were working together for a year, I think, before we finally started dating.
I think even more than that, maybe.
You think I don't remember now. Yeah. It's been long enough that I'm like, I don't know.
No, but I mean, because it was nice that we had that working relationship first. Because we were, to be honest, it was like both of us have a really strong kind of work ethic when it comes down to it, and so that we were both excited, like, oh, I found someone that we can work together and do all these things. And we were just laughing at oh, look at those silly people dating in the same field, they're crazy.
And then people kept referring to me as Craig's wife and stuff when we weren't even dating, and it was no.
So it worked out in the best way, in that sense. And we're just very fortunate. And the thing is, as you know too, it's hard if you have a significant other that doesn't quite get the music thing, or imagine if we did all the travel with only one of us. It'd be so different. So we were so fortunate that we could do it together.
So many. And the thing is, I'm so grateful for like all of these amazing memories that we have together of being able to host workshops in Germany, do a retreat in the UK. It's like, and we did all that together, and we built all this stuff together, and it's so awesome to be able to get to experience that together. Because what a bummer. I don't know, I just think I loved being able to any moment turn around and be like, do you see what's happening right now? Like, it's like he's always right there. And even the times when I'm just like, oh my God, do you see what's happening right now? Right. Like all of those moments, being able to share those together, I feel like we are incredibly lucky.
Good. And I think one of the awesome byproducts of you guys, like working so hard and going out in these places is that you're, the way that you guys have shared that. So we talked about, like having all these people and all these talented people from in the world, but people never getting a chance to, to hearing them or to seeing them or to learning from them. You guys have provided an avenue for, for people from Hawaii, people from all around the world, and to get them, go to the mainland or be on stage or be in front of people to teach what they know. So I think that's my favorite part about you guys' journey is that you guys have shared that with with all these other amazing artists. So now, like, thanks to you guys, people know guys like Andrew Molina, of course. You guys have helped them out to get started, but many others, and it's been really incredible. So let's talk about who you guys have helped out along the way as far as getting started with touring and kind of teaching them like how to do stuff like that.
Oh man, well, Andrew for sure, yeah. Like he.
Well, we hosted his first ever workshop.
Yes, that's
like,
right.
That's
right. At Hale Ukulele in San Diego. His first ever one.
Well, here, this is some advice that Aldrine always says too. Is like, this is not necessarily how it's gonna work, but this is what I did and it worked for me. There's one of those things where you can't anticipate how things are gonna go, but you can share those experiences. You can share your knowledge, and they can try to do their own version of that. It can't just be copy paste. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
And I think I took that to heart because everyone comes from different situations and has different goals, and priorities, and it's never going to be the same. But part of the challenge is finding what's important to you. Finding, like, do you want to be gigging 4 or 5 days out of the week, or do you want to be mainly teaching, or is performing your passion? But finding that and then just diving into it. I think there's a lot of people right now that are still unsure.
Yeah.
They're like seeing this works for that person, this works for that person, and they're trying to do everything, right? They don't really have a goal of their own. But no, I mean, we try to help as many people as possible because we are the first ones to tell you that we couldn't have gotten here without any help.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at what Yu has done for me, and there's been so many people. I mean, people that took us into their homes while on tour to help offset costs. I mean, things like that. Where like, there's so many little things that add up that give us those opportunities. So that's why we've always had people like stay at our house, take our car. Like Taimane came, borrowed our car. Clay, it's just one of those things where like helping nurture the ukulele community was so important to us.
And it still is, even though we're not on the mainland. We still, like there's several artists here actually on Oahu that we've talked to that were like, when things open up, you tell us when you want to go to various places. Let us know. We will help you. Do you need new headshots? Craig is always so great about, if folks need headshots or video, if we have the free time, let's get together. Let's set up a shoot, for us, it's about if one of us does well, we all do well. And so we have that kind of mentality and with it where it's just like, I'll help you. I remember Neil Chen, this was, I can't remember how many years ago, but he came down to visit us in San Diego. And we actually weren't super close at the time that he came down, but we were just said, our house is always open, come down. And he was debating on moving.
Well, he was going through a heartache.
He was having a rough patch. And so we were like, well, come hang out with us. We're fun. And so he came down and we were like, and Craig, he's like,
we got candy.
Right? Come hop in the van.
We got lava lamps. Come check out our lava lamps.
Right?
That sounds like when we met Craig. He was Craig was going through some things in his life, and I'm like, hey, come hang out with us, Craig.
Right?
And then Craig's like, oh, come over to my house. We got to show you chicken.
Yeah. Yes.
All right,
that's history. But so like with Neil, like it was one of those things where, he's an amazing player, and like he was like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and like Craig's like, hold on, you're gonna record it. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna record an album, and I know who's producing it. He's like on the phone. He's like, okay, Tyler, all right, you're in Eugene. Tyler, here's Neil. You guys make an album, and that was it. He handed him the phone, and that album went up for a Nahoku Award, like that year. Like I know, so like things like that where I'm so grateful that people like Neil and Andrew and others have like taken taken us up on our word and said, they said to come down and hang out, so okay, I will. Because we love getting to do that kind of stuff with folks. You know, we've had so many people help us, and to be able to give some of that back is really important. And so we're really, really grateful for the opportunities to be able to help other artists.
Nice. You guys, thank you. Thanks for everything you guys do. Seriously, thank you for everything you guys do. That's amazing.
I like when we were filming, what's that? Seasons of Love, right? Yeah. And we had to film like several people at
your house. Yeah.
Yes.
We had Calais, we had you guys.
And it was so funny because like we're setting up the camera and then it's like, oh, let's point it at the fireplace. And then Craig just goes and grabs more wood and he starts shoveling it in. He's like, oh, you got to make it bigger.
for the camera.
Who else is there? Kyle was there too, I think.
Kyle.
Right? Yeah. It was because he was living in San Diego at the time. Calais.
Yes.
We were all, I think, what were we there for? Do you guys remember?
NAMM. It was January because it was freezing outside, and Calais' family came, and that was the first time his mother was ever warm
on that trip.
From that fireplace.
From the fireplace.
Yeah, it was so hot. I remember being in like shorts and a tank top, and Craig is like, "Let's put more wood on the fire."
Yeah, Craig. You're the first person I knew that had like a soda stream in their house, and I was like, and I'm like, man, can we have some of that, Craig? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like trying to give us soda. Have this instead. I'm like, yeah. Can I have some though? It was great. It was so thank you. That's, like forget everything else. That was the greatest thing that I've from Craig. Yeah. Craig has helped me out with my soda stream needs.
We saw the evolution of Craig Chee.
Yeah, we did.
From when we first met him to after the post Sarah era. Yeah. It's like a 180.
That's why like one of my nicknames for Craig is Baby Bird. Baby Bird.
Or Baby Bird is flying.
Yeah, Baby Bird's flying. Look at him.
We still have it, right? Like one of our favorite props is like, is it Tylenol or Advil that Craig left in the office?
Well, yeah, we still use it. It's right back there.
It's cool.
The pill bottle.
And it's infamous for like we actually used it to teach strumming too. Yeah.
So we like hold the pill bottle like this, and that's how you strum your ukulele with that. Yeah. But yeah. Nice. Souvenir from Craig's first night on Kauai.
Fun times.
I love it.
Good times, man.
I think we have a few questions.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's get to the questions. So we ran through the ukulele on the ground and Craig and Sarah history. Now let's get to some ukulele. Let's do some teaching. So here we go. Kahai, give us our first question.
Yeah, we actually had this question for a while, and we kind of wanted to wait till we got like some particular
like jazz master.
Yeah. So this is from Review, and they asked, could you please show us how to comp to jazz?
Oh my gosh, that's a very like.
It's loaded. That's why I'm like, I'm not answering that one.
It kind of depends on what style you're doing. Like if you're just doing general swing, like the easiest thing to do is like Freddie Green style, where you play 4 on the floor. It's like, is this in tune? That's good enough. Okay. So like Freddie Green style, which he was the guitar player for Count Basie. And it was just, oh wait, am I speaking out of turn or was it Duke Ellington? Oh no, I'm having a brain fart. But anyway, but look up Freddie Green nonetheless, even though I'm having trouble remembering which big band he played for. But the big thing for me is making sure that you just mute in between every single strum. And I would just a real quick, like I would play like this. Hopefully you can hear that. So I'm muting in between each one, only doing down strums. I'm using my thumb. You can use your index. It doesn't really matter. But making sure that those notes are cut off. And then you could add emphasis on the 2nd and 4th beat. So that way you have more of a... Right? If you wanted to have a little bit more sort of swingy feel, I guess. But also making sure that you use... I like using closed voicings for that kind of style because it's easier to mute in between every single strum. But that's really sort of like a very generalized, like quick and easy way of just getting that jazz feeling and getting that swing feel, rather.
Yeah, my piece
hope
of
that
advice...
answers the question, because I'm like, jazz is very broad.
Yeah. Good answer. Good answer.
The tiny bit I would add to that is just, with the mentality that you're there just comping, keep it simple.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's what your job is. Like, again, when Milo plays bass with us and he's teaching bass, he's like, Craig and Sarah, they don't pay me to do like runs through the song. They pay me to play that four on the floor and just like keeping that tempo and same kind of mentality. Keep it simple and the muting it helps give more space for the other people to do other cool things. But it's important to have. So like, yes, like not everyone is the first violin in that sense, right? In the orchestra, sometimes you're doing random doot 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 on a different instrument or whatever it is. But as a whole, it sounds incredible. So don't ever feel like,
Well, and that was my next kind of thing is like, it also depends on how I comp is going to be different if it's just Craig and I versus Craig and I and a bass player versus Craig and I, a bass player and a sax player or whatever, right? So, or a guitar player. So it does kind of depend, because sometimes I might do something with that same progression, just doing something like where I'm skipping the second chord and playing on the ands, or doing anticipatory stuff. So that is going to be another way of comping, but that's a little more complicated just because you really need to keep track of where you are versus just playing 4 on the floor like Freddie Green.
Nice. Yeah, someone's got to play tambourine,
Right?
So, don't be shaved. You're just playing the tambourine. It's very important in the big grand spectrum of things,
A good rhythm player is the best. Like,
oh yeah.
Well, they also make the most money over the year. Like there's always budget for a really good rhythm player in the studio. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I always let people know that, like, hey, if it wasn't for like Aaron, like making sure that like there's a backup to what I'm doing and stuff, like I couldn't be doing what I'm doing. So Aaron has to keep keep time, and he has to be kind of on it and make sure that like that when if I speed up, he has to kind of bring me back.
Bring you back.
Happens every song.
Ride the dragon, baby. Just take ride it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very, very, very important. Yeah. Kahai, next question.
Okay, so this one is from Oscar, and he kind of asked he wants to ask Sarah this question, but I think both of you guys can kind of give your thoughts on this. He said, I would like to ask how to memorize lyrics.
That guy. Okay, so Craig, this is actually what Craig and I tell our students who are trying to learn to sing and play at the same time, which is record yourself playing just the chords on your ukulele. Don't sing along with it. Just play the chords. Make yourself a backing track. Then, if you're running errands or going for a run or whatever, listen to that and start practicing singing your lyrics over that. It's going to do a couple of things. One, it's going to make you work on the lyrics themselves. And you might only, practice singing the first verse for a while, trying to get that kind of in your brain. But when doing that and trying to sing it over and over again, you're also going to get used to hearing where the chord changes are going to happen, so that when you go to actually practice with yourself, you'll have a much easier time hearing and knowing when the changes are going to happen. And then as far as like pure memorization, I'm very visual, and I find that if I write things down a million times, that's super, super helpful for me. So for example, I was asked to sing a song in Japanese for a show we did in Tokyo. I don't speak Japanese, but I said, sure, I'll do it. And I spent that 9-hour flight from LA to Tokyo, phonetically, while listening to the song, phonetically writing it out, so that then, a couple nights later, I could then sing Sukiyaki to Japanese audience. But it was, for me, it was writing it out and saying it as I wrote it out and listening to the song like a million times that allowed me to be able to do that. And that's a very condensed way that I memorize stuff. Usually I give myself more time than like 9 hours.
Yeah. So Aaron, we know our next collaboration song with Sarah now. So let's get that down. Sukiyaki.
And it wouldn't take me very long to get it back again because I worked so hard on it, and with the pronunciation.
For the video, we need to get like Sarah and like a kimono and stuff, and she has to like be full on. It's gonna be awesome. She's laughing like it's a joke, but it's not.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I kind of want to challenge Craig to do sukiyaki.
So we should get Craig a kimono.
Yeah.
And we should have him do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's originally a guy that sings it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Craig?
But we'll have Craig sing it in French.
Oh.
Oh.
All right. Okay. Go ahead, Craig.
Oh no.
How do you memorize lyrics?
No, there's so many different ways, right? Because everyone learns differently. But for me, I saw a difference when I first was trying to memorize songs. I would try to memorize it word by word, and it's like strictly memorization of that pattern. Where now I feel like memorizing more of the story, right? Because when you internalize the story and internalize like what the song is about, it's much easier to remember. Oh, okay, yeah, this verse is about the bird and the tree and how it, gets stuck or whatever it is, and that helps kind of guide me about what lines are coming up and what's going on. But at the same time, it's I used to circle. Well, I mean that goes into playing and singing at the same time. But yeah, memorization of the lyrics. The biggest thing I think that also helped me was try to break things up in verses. So I would just spend time practicing the last verse or the chorus. Because typically we always start practicing from the top. So my first verse was amazing. And then after that it kind of got downhill because I wouldn't practice all the way through sometimes, right? So being able to say, okay, today I'm just gonna spend 10 minutes on singing the third verse.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, things like that.
So what Aaron's advice is like kind of like how you guys were just kind of like think of a story and stuff, and that's I've been doing that and it's been working. But I think for me, what worked was having Aaron there. Having Aaron, like, what's the first line? Yeah, what's the first word of this verse? Okay, cool. I got it from there. I think that really worked. I think everyone should get an Aaron Nakamura. Would really help out with memorization. All right, Kai. Next question.
But I like the trade-off between the two of you because you go, Aaron, what's the first verse? And then Aaron goes, what's the first chord?
Somehow Aldrine just like always knows what key and what chords.
Nice.
Okay, the next question is from Chris and Sue, and they asked, do you guys have any favorite duet arrangements for tenor and baritone?
Ooh.
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
good question.
Perfect question for them.
That's like all of our...
yeah, exactly. No, that totally. I'm just like, all the songs.
It's like when you have kids. You can't, you're not supposed to say one, but you have one that you like.
One verse.
I'm trying to think.
Well, I mean, I like our rendition of Guava Jam, for example, because it
that was
highlights
actually
both
really
instruments
fun.
and it's different than what's been out there. I love like being able to integrate and have that crisscross movement within the two tunings.
Guava Jam's a good one. I was gonna also say I really like the Nearness of You too, because that one you do some really pretty things throughout that on baritone. That's really that I like. But we're also like, hopefully we'll have a little bit more time because I know we've got some really good ideas for this year with some new stuff. So I'm actually kind of like already in that mindset of like, oh, we're gonna have some cool stuff coming up. But thinking back, Guava Jam and Nearness of You, for sure.
What was that jazz song that we played at Hawaii Theater together? There was
Sunny Side of the Street.
Sunny Side, yeah, that was fun.
Craig does some. I was listening to Craig's solo on that because I have the recording and stuff. Like it was a it was like the perfect blend of like old school like Hawaiian like jam style with like jazz style. I was really impressed. Like honestly, Craig, I was impressed by that solo because he did those like kind of pull-offs and stuff in there, but then he did some like cool little jazz runs. I'm a fan, man.
Thank you. No, that actually means a lot because that's kind of how I envisioned.
Yeah.
Once I started working with Sarah, because again, I didn't grow up listening to jazz and all that kind of stuff. But how can I take what I grew up with, and apply it in a way that matches but expand like that? And there was a lot of thought behind that one, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. That really does mean a lot.
Dude. No. Because in preparation for this podcast, I was just like kind of consuming as much Craig and Sarah stuff, as I can. And I was listening to that, and I'm like, man, that solo is amazing. Like it's really good. Because like when Sarah's like, oh, play this song with us, I'm like, okay, here we go, jazz. We got to put jazz mode on. And I guess I'll play these notes, But then Craig went in like a soldier, like or like a general, even like just commanding his ukulele army or fingers to just do what they're supposed to do. And I'm like, it's amazing, dude. Seriously, I'm a big fan of that song and your solo and just your playing in general, man. It's gotten, I mean, you were already good like back in Eugene day one, but like seriously, you have like evolved into this huge ukulele monster.
Well, I mean that's the influence of Sarah, to be honest, because Sarah pushed me way out of my comfort zone, right? She pushed me into like what? I can't play this triad instead of What do you mean 4-note voicings? What is that? No, I mean so
I have to use all
what
4
are extensions? Like a chord? I didn't bring one.
For me, there was a lot of catching up on that side of it to do, and I loved that challenge and being able to integrate what I did before.
I remember some of our very early workings together where he was like, what chord are you playing? What is that? And I'm like, oh, well, I don't know. Depending on how you look at it, it could be a 9.
And I was like, I hate this.
Let's play Guava Jam again.
Do you know Friend of the Devil? Let's play that.
You don't write, baby.
But I owe a lot of my musical growth to Sarah. I mean, it really changed me, and so thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, I'm sure it went the opposite way also, right? Because Sarah, you didn't grow up with like Kyle Creator Boys, right? Like, so what are some stuff that you like integrated into your playing?
Honestly,
from Craig.
Some of the stuff that I've integrated into my playing is like things I don't want to say easy things. That's not the right word. But like finding I think because there's so many Craig is really good at being tasteful and at kind of being a good accompanist, right? So I think that knowing when not to play, like I learned a lot of that kind of stuff from Craig, right? Because it was me and a bass player, so it was like I had to play all the time, and then right because I had to. Whereas now I'm playing with somebody else who's playing my same instrument, especially when we were both playing standard tuned instruments. Even if I played low G, it's still like we're still playing chords, and so learning how to be tasteful, learning how to actually add like fills that don't sound like I'm stomping all over whatever it is you're doing, and learning how to stay out of the way and to be able to make that other person lift that other person's playing up, and just being a better listener too. Like as a player, listening and being more of a conversationalist with my playing. I owe a lot of that to Craig, and that stuff might seem it seems simple and easy, but unless you have someone to practice those things with, you don't realize how hard they are. So I owe him a lot as far as that stuff goes.
See, Craig, it's the simplicity of things. It's like, that's I think that's the word. It's like to simplify things.
We call it Brian Tolentinoing it.
Yeah, but Brian Tolentino. I think, What does he call it? Like fairy dust. Fairy dusting. Is this, All right. Do we have time, Kai, or should we just? Do you guys have time for one more? Or
yeah, let's do one more.
Yeah. Okay. So Simon asked, said, while working a song to mastery and muscle memory helps a lot, it feels like my performance is 65% the quality of my best practice session because of nerves and getting in my own head. This even happens when I turn on the camera to record myself. What do you do to get into the relaxed flow state before performances? And how do you stay in the zone while playing the piece?
Yeah, by Aldrine Guerrero. That's my question.
So, my first answer to that is turn on the camera constantly and do it all the time, because the more you put yourself and make yourself in that uncomfortable situation, the more you're just going to kind of adapt and get used to it. I used to be, it's so funny, for Artist Works, we have to record video. So students send us videos and we have to record ourselves answering them, right? And that first year, I was terrified to actually answer my own students, which is so stupid. But like, I used to get like nervous. I'm like, okay, got to make sure I say the right thing and make sure this, that, and the other. And now it's just a natural thing to do, where it's like, all right, let's just answer the students, you know, and it's because of doing it 8,000 times.
A lot of people don't realize how much time we spent in front of an audience to get comfortable. I used to do, before I started gigging a lot, I used to do every open mic I could. You know, sometimes that was 3 or 4 days a week, just to practice, just to be out in front of people. And the hard part about, you know, this was in Eugene, you know, it wasn't in front of ukulele people. This was in front of like regular music loving people that, like, if I bombed, I would bomb twice as hard because they already look at me and
hear about
ukulele, you know, like, you know, so that to me built that armor of like, you know, I have better advice. My best advice I can give is that no matter what you do, not everyone is going to like your music.
Yes.
And that was a hard lesson for me to really take in, because you want to impress everyone. You want to have every single person in the room like you or like your music, because, you know, we want to make sure they had a good time, they're entertained. There's always going to be someone that doesn't, and that is okay. And when you accept that, oh my gosh, the weight off my shoulders when I really came to grasp with that was like, all you can do is do what you love, and if people like what you do, that's fantastic. And there's going to be some people that don't, and that's okay. You know, that you do it for yourself. That I can't stress that more. You know, just things will come from there. People will gravitate you toward you more because of that. But you know, we're so focused on other people in the audience that we lose track of what is really important. And just do what you do it the best way that you can, and you know, you'll be okay. And that starting from that growth there is going to be important. I think that's the best thing I can say about that.
And doing the other thing too is, I think you're going to accept the fact that you're going to make a mistake. Don't fret about your mistake. Just know that they're going to happen and accept it. And the great thing too is sometimes your mistakes might actually sound better than what you were supposed to do. Right?
Well, Aldrine and I, the first thing when we saw Jake and Eugene performing, his first thing out of his mouth was, "Oh my gosh, did you hear all the mistakes?" And we're like, yeah.
Measure 37. Are you kidding me, Jake? Why would you play that?
You know, but you know, mistakes will happen. That's the beauty of live music, and that's just part of it. No one plays a perfect show, and no one really wants to play a perfect show. We're not we're not putting on a CD for you to listen to. We're doing something that is probably going to be different the next time we play it. You know, it's just that's the beauty of it.
And I still am working on getting over like messing up. Like, I'm not saying it's easy to just be like, I don't care about messing up, because I just, right?
Definitely.
True.
You know, I still, you know, spend a lot of time going, but gotta accept it.
I want to get a question in there before, because I have to ask this because so we talked earlier about like you guys helping out a bunch of like new artists and stuff. So my the last question for today is going to be what's your biggest advice for the people who want to be heard, who want to be out there, who want to be doing things that you guys are doing, who want to play the festivals and do all these things. And what's your best advice for for up and coming musicians?
Get really good at Street Fighter.
And text Aldrine and challenge you Saturday 3 p.m. So you want to start?
No, go ahead and start.
Okay, so biggest piece of advice: go to these events, not as the artist, not as thinking that you're going to be there as a performer. Be a part of these events. Get to know the community.
Yeah.
Things will happen because of that. And you might go and you might, actually, this is not what I really want to do. Get to know the people that are putting these things on, get to know the audience, get to know the community. Don't think you can just jump in and all of a sudden you're on stage and doing everything. That's not how it works, and that's not how it should work. When people say put in time, it's not necessarily putting in the time on being on stage, but it's putting the work into helping build the community, and things will happen from that. But that's my biggest piece of advice. Just go as an attendee to all these events that you want to do, or go be a part of it.
As a volunteer.
Because
if you go and volunteer, like, it shows that you are investing in the community. And I mean, I was so excited. Honoka actually came and volunteered. She was there at 6 a.m. with us, loading in gear for Ukulele Festival of Hawaii. Wow. And she didn't have to be. She said, I want to be a part. I want to help. And she brought it, you know, and that is always going to leave a lasting impression on us and on Roy and Kathy. Like, so volunteering your time, if you can do it, doing that is another great way of being able to, kind of get in the scene and see what it's about, besides, the obvious, like, practice a whole lot.
And it's not like Honoka is like a new person. She's traveled like everywhere. She's had multiple viral videos and stuff, and there she is doing.
And
some
she
dirty
still
work,
wants to help.
Like,
and
it's
she's still
it's awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome. So that's amazing advice. I was like, I can't let this show end without asking that, because that was what I was leading to, and I completely forgot. So all right, well, we got to get going. Thank you guys so much. We got to do this again. We got to do this. There's so much stuff that we need to talk about. Craig brought up the seeing Jake in concert thing, and we went to his tour bus and we checked that out. That was
his mansion of a bus.
Remember all the personal trainers that were in there? Remember we took a dip in the pool in the tour bus.
Second
it was amazing.
Remember that? With the live lobster that you could just pick out and
and with the chefs and stuff, it was amazing.
And then
I couldn't believe it.
Craig, remember when we went to Nam together and there was like 5 of us sharing one hotel room?
And then Jake has this like palatial Taj Mahal on wheels,
my neck still doesn't go quite straight after that night. Like, it's just
that's one too many shore Yukins, man. All right. Thank you so much to Craig and Sarah for being our awesome guests. Thank you everyone for watching. Is there anything you guys want to tell the audience, talk about artist works and all that stuff, and promote?
Yeah, I mean, what I love about right now in this point in time is that never before has the ukulele community been so lucky of having so much choices from instruments, right? Before you had 2-3 brands that would work.
Prelude or Kamaka. That was it.
And now we have so many amazing options for instructional stuff. And we always tell people, go and learn from everyone you can, because everyone has different takes on music and different things that will expand your vocabulary
and make things
musically.
Click for you.
And I'm so grateful that we're seeing so much crossover from UU, from Cynthia Lynn, from it all goes hand in hand. There's never from us, there's never oh, you can't do that, or
Right.
you know, like, oh, we teach better than that. No, that's not how teaching works at all. Like, you know, and I love that we just have so much choices. We have so many amazing opportunities to feature people online and spotlight them.
Yeah.
And to me, music, the ukulele in particular, is always going to be as easy or as hard as you want it to be. So never get down if you don't think you're at a certain level. It's again, part of the journey is realizing what you want to end up doing. So instead of focusing so much on other things, kind of keep that in the back of your head so that everything you do moves you toward that. Because it's easy to get lost a little bit with so much out there too. So you know, prioritize. And I can't thank Ukulele Underground enough for really paving the way on this whole online instructional thing, because again, you guys are probably a huge reason why I got to meet Sarah and why we have a beautiful little baby boy. And
Karen, so cute, so cute.
It really is amazing.
We claim to be the third parent.
Yes.
Well, so that means
it's true.
Well, I feel like it's easy to see the 50-year legacy of like Roy and Kathy, for example. But I still feel like 20 years down the road, they're gonna do like documentaries on you guys, on how much you've touched and inspired. Like there's so, I'm excited because now it's becoming clear that our generation of doing what we're doing is like the next big kind of wave, and being able to reach people that you know all around the world. It's bridging the ukulele community together has been just amazing to see throughout the years, and I think it's only going to get stronger and stronger. And I know you guys are doing some like retreats and events too. I think all of these things are so incredibly good for the instrument, because yes, the online thing is great, but like you said, giving the chance for people to meet and actually connect on that personal level and in person, oh my gosh, it really is the best feeling in the world. So keep doing what you guys are doing. And thank you guys so much.
And thank you for being an inspiration.
Thank you guys. I mean, like, that documentary can't be made without mentioning Craig and Sarah, because you guys are every bit part of this journey. You know, that of Ukulele Underground as anybody else. Seriously, like, there's a community, really is what it is, and you know, we all stand together in solidarity for this instrument. So that's the only way that this is gonna work, is for everyone to be a community.
In 10 or 20 years, can we call you up and be like, hey Craig, about that documentary? So
is your fireplace still available?
you got some logs, buddy?
You got some logs?
As long as I can borrow Kahai's lens, you know, I'm good.
Awesome.
Well, thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you for everything that you do for the ukulele community. Thanks for bringing the Ukulele Festival back. It's been really, really, really cool just being friends with you guys. Seriously, I treasure our friendship more than anything else. Thank you so much. Okay? All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you folks tomorrow for Aloha Friday Live Jam, all that good stuff, and aloha. Enjoy.
Aloha.